Hello, I want to come to you tonight, just kind of give you a short video of the recent events over the last couple of days of what's happened. Obviously, probably most of you know, I'm going to be as brief as I can on this. As you very well know, Tuesday night, I attended a county council meeting, which I was on the agenda for. During that meeting, I was called to the table, sat down, and very patiently listened to a council member read off a sheet of paper degrading and lying about my officers, your officers, and also obviously myself. I didn't say anything, I didn't interject, I didn't interrupt them and let them finish telling their lies. After the councilman was done, I asked, it was my turn obviously to give my presentation, I asked the county council president to please give me the time that I needed to finish my presentation. She promised me that I would have the time to finish everything that I needed to say and to inform the public about the truth. As I started telling the truth, obviously the truth hurt. And right in the middle of my presentation, they cut me off. They would not let me finish what I was telling. For obvious reasons, because the truth was coming out. Now, the overflow crowd that was there obviously became very angry, became shouting and yelling at the council to let me finish. And I've got to tell you this, the support we've received, not only from the folks who showed up at the meeting, but from the letters, notes, text messages, and calls that I've received over the last couple of days has been unbelievable, and it's been very humbling. My folks, I've obviously relayed this information to my folks here at the office, and they are humbled and I'm very appreciative of all the support that we received. So when they cut me off, obviously we were done. I did not get to finish my presentation, and it hurt, obviously, because I wasn't able to finish the truth. Now, I'm going to say this here. Let's quit the bickering, the arguing, the he said, she said, all the stuff that's going on. The bottom line is this. Quit trying to pull the smoke and mirrors. We're only there for one reason. We was there to discuss the low pay of the deputies. Not all the other stuff that was brought out, not all the other stuff that was said. Again, that's just a diversion tactic to take away from the truth that our folks are one of the lowest, if not the lowest, paid sheriff's offices and police offices across the state of Indiana. We all know that. That's no secret. I submitted a budget that they said was sustainable. They told me my budget was sustainable. Not one single time after they gave me the information that my budget was sustainable did they call back and say, hey, Jerry, come over here. We need to talk about this some more. You know, we need to cut more money. Let's see what we can do to try to work with you. Let's negotiate with you. We might not be able to give you everything that you asked for, but let's see what we can do about working in the things that we can give you. Not one time did they call over here and tell me that. We were under the assumption, and I say we, I'm talking about myself and also my employees here at the sheriff's office, that the things that we asked for was a possibility of still happening, a possibility of getting passed. One day last week, I was contacted by someone who told me that, hey, they're going to vote on this budget, and I don't think it was anything secretive. They was going to vote on the budget, and then I found out that my request that I had in the budget for my officers was not included in that. Again, I brought to the public, as I always do, I'm one of the most transparent sheriffs we've ever had. Everything we have, problems, issues, successes, whatever, you know, I always bring them to you. I brought this issue to the public at the meeting and on the internet where they can't stop me from talking, and I explained everything. Now, it's still the bottom line. We still have the problem. Now, even worse, is I have to tip my hat off to the Crothersville Town Council as they supported and voted for and approved a $5,000 across-the-board pay raise for their Crothersville officers. Not only Crothersville, but we've got all the surrounding counties and cities have done that. And that's just been recent. That's only been within the last couple of years that they've had to do this. And the reason why, as we all know, is it's almost impossible to find a quality, trained person to be a police officer. Now, what we have to do to be able to recruit and retain police officers is to be able to pay a fair wage. Now, the smoke and mirrors game again continues with them as they continue to say that they've provided me with a fully budgeted positions. But here's the problem. The fully budgeted positions are so poorly budgeted and so poorly funded, I can't hire no one. And the folks that we have spent the money on to train and to be professional police officers that they are leaving because of the huge difference in pay. Now, don't get wrapped up, and obviously they think they're pulling a fast one by saying they're offering me fully funded positions. That's just a smoke and mirrors again tactic, and don't believe that, because they're not fully funded, because they're so poorly funded that I can't get nobody to take the job. Now, as we go on here is this, I just want to get to the bottom line. The fact of the matter is this: we are still one of the lowest paid police agencies in the state. I brought the problem to the council to try to help me solve, not for them to start poking people in the eye and start making accusations. I gave them the sustainable budget that they asked for. Not one time did they tell me that the sheriff's office budget, my budget, is not sustainable. Come back over here. Let's work on this. Let's try to get some kind of a negotiated deal to work with you so we can make something available to you so you can retain those officers, so we can recruit quality people. I received a phone call after the county council, or actually before the county council meeting Tuesday night. It was from Clark County Sheriff Scotty Maples. He just wanted to say in advance, hey, make sure you give your county council a thank you from me and all the other county sheriffs around, and also the city chiefs, for not funding your police officers, because what we will do now is obviously they're going to recruit directly from the quality trained professional police officers that we have. And of course he told me that don't get upset at me, you know, because I'm recruiting your folks, but I am going to pay them a large sum of money more to get them to come to my office. Obviously I told him I wasn't upset at him, and any sheriff's office or city police agency or town police agency around would be crazy not to try to recruit my folks. We've got some of the best police officers around, as highly trained as you can be, obviously more trained than most agencies do. Now, here's where I come at you again. Let's stop all the smoke and mirrors. Let's stop all the he said, she said stuff and come to this one point. How do we solve the problem of our police officers not being the lowest paid officers in the state? And when I say not being, I mean the problem is the fact that they are the lowest paid, and that we're not doing anything to try to solve the problem besides throwing accusations. Now, the fact of the matter is this, and I don't have to show you, I can if you wish, with the stats and everything, and this is nothing that we're doing to pat anybody on the back. This is not anything that we're doing to bellyose or grandiose to say, you know, how great we are or whatever. This is just stating the facts for the folks to be able to, I can explain this better. Now, we all know that right now in Scott County is experiencing some of the lowest crime rates that we've ever had. We are experiencing a time of prosperity, a time of property value increase in our county that, quite frankly, we've never had. We have the professional folks telling us that one of the reasons, obviously, is because Scott County, because of your deputies, and because of you as the citizens, have made Scott County one of the safest places, not only in the state, but also across America to live in. Folks, I don't think that anybody has to have too much of a short-term memory problem to remember where we were at 5 or 6 years ago, and that unfortunately there wasn't too many streets that you didn't drive down that there wasn't a prostitute or a drug dealer. We couldn't let our kids play out in their yards, and obviously we couldn't even leave our homes because we was afraid when you left that when you returned, everything you owned would be stolen and gone. We know that's a fact, okay? We turned that around. I say we, and when I say we, obviously you know I'm speaking about the sheriff's office, and made this county, with you all, with our help, one of the safest places to live. We know that. Now, here's the deal. I'm coming to you again. The citizens of Scott County are going to have to decide whether they want to continue to have one of the best police agencies in the state. Do we want to continue to remain safe in our homes? Do we want to continue to not have to worry about driving down the street and have to worry about a prostitute jumping in a car or a drug dealer trying to make a transaction? And most importantly, we have to know, or we have to decide whether or not we want to continue to be a safe place where our children can go out and play. We have to decide whether we want a community, I know I do, where that my kids, my grandkids, future great-grandkids can live, and not only live, but be safe and be prosperous. We can't go back 6 years or even longer to the type of crime that we had for the issues and the problems. And of course, this is not a blame on anybody. This is just the truth. We can't go back to that. But as a community, we have to decide whether we're going to provide the funding to our police officers to keep them here and to be able to recruit them, or if safety is not a top priority, then obviously we will continue to defund. And yes, it is defunding. It's defunding the police. I've got a smaller budget this year than I had last year. And the fact that we're not receiving equitable pay raises to maintain our competitiveness with the local agencies, that's obviously defunding. Now, what I want to get back to is this. Again, I've been trying to negotiate. I don't know what the issue is. I was never told anything different, and we was all under the assumption that the possibility that the items that we had given to the council, what we needed, the budget cuts that we had already made, these are cuts that were already made, was sustainable. We had no idea that the sheriff's office budget was not sustainable. We were never told anything different, so we couldn't come back and do any more negotiating. They never contacted us to come back. We wish they would have come back and said, listen, let's see if we can get together and get down and see if there's anything else we can cut or save from to be able to provide you with maybe not the total amount that you want, but maybe something that will kind of meet halfway, or something the most that we can do to help retain and recruit deputy sheriffs. No one ever did that. No one ever did that. Now, again, through my total transparency, I always come forth and I gave out the possible problems that we had and what we were going to encounter and what steps we had already taken to stop those possible events from taking place. Now, we continue to lose officers, and we continue to struggle to recruit. We've had 5 processes trying to hire people. We've not been able to fill our supposedly fully funded positions, but again, they're not fully funded because they are so poorly funded that we can't even attract anyone to work. We're unable to fill those positions. We are losing people now. I'm getting word from my deputies that there's possibly up to 4 more of those deputies who could leave for better paying jobs, despite what you might hear and the lies you've been told. The bottom line here is it's always been, and what I've always tried to stay focused on, and I've tried to get the council to stay focused on, is the low pay that our deputies receive. So, again, Scotty Maple, Sheriff of Clark County, telling me that they're going to recruit our people because he knows that the huge difference that there is in pay amounts between not only our 2 counties, but the surrounding counties and cities. So Scott County has to decide. And I say that because I've always come to the folks for their input, their decision on what they want to do. Are we going to continue to have the safe environment that we have now, that we have created through the hard work of the citizens of Scott County, our sheriff's office and others, or are we going to go back to prostitution, drug dealing, kids not being safe to go on the road, property values in the Scott County not being worth near the amount of other surrounding counties? Are we going to go back to that, or do we want to stay where we're at? And that's a decision that Scott County has to make. Now, it's a decision that you, the citizens of Scott County, have to tell your county council and my county council what your desire is. Quite frankly, obviously, as your sheriff, I feel like that public safety is one of the most important issues that face the community. As anybody will tell you, economic development folks will tell you that one of the top things you can do is have a safe community to draw people, business, etc. We know that. We've provided that now. We can't go back, or in my opinion, we can't go back. But I'm the sheriff, so I may have a jilted view on what everyone else thinks. If you think that the county council needs to provide the money for our folks, your folks, to be able to get a pay raise, not the top pay raise in the state, not the top pay raise even the surrounding. We just want to be competitive to the agencies. We're just asking for something that's just going to put us in the middle of the pack, hopefully, at best. We're not asking for some insurmountable amount of money. I did have a council member tell me that there was nobody worth $5 an hour pay raise. However, just the day before yesterday, I was advised that one of our local businesses, Fantastic Sam's, is giving their folks a $5 an hour pay raise plus a $1,000 bonus to sign on, something like that. So yes, there are people that is worth that amount of money. I think my deputies are. And if they're not, if we don't have that money, come to me and tell me we do not have the money to fund what you want, but let's work at trying to find a solution to the problem. I have administered several solutions to the problem so far, but the Band-Aids that we are using are not sustainable. I can't keep losing bodies and continue the same service that we've been providing. And that's why I say it's up to the citizens of Scott County. I am tired, sick and tired of the accusations, the he said, she said, the smoke and mirrors, trying to get off a topic to avoid the fact that we are the lowest paid. I'm asking again for the help of the citizens. Let's get something done. If you, as the community, do not want what I'm asking, that's fine too. I work for you. I serve you as your sheriff. I will go along with what you want me to do, as I always have. Now, I can tell you this. As the sheriff's office here, as your sheriff and the employees that I have, will not let the citizens of Scott County down. We haven't, and we will not. We will continue to give the blood, sweat, and tears that they've given and we have given to continue our safe community as best as we can and as long as we can. But we need your help. Let your council member know if you feel like that we need to maintain the level of safety we have now. Or if safety is not a top priority in our community and we need to give the money somewhere else. I can live with that. You can live with that. Everybody can, because we'll all be on the same page. Just fighting and bickering doesn't solve anything. Nothing. And I will close and say just a couple of things. Everything that I present to you on video, or I present to you in anything that I talk to you at, I've got documented evidence to back up what I'm telling you. And don't let people lie to you and say anything different. The fact is this does not affect the salary of the sheriff of Scott County. The state of Indiana sends a list to us every year. It's a pay list. And I make 60% of what the Scott County prosecutor makes. That's nothing new. It's been this way for years in Scott County. Don't let them tell you that anything that I'm doing is an attempt to raise my salary. It is not. That is a lie. I go by what the state law says and what the county ordinance that was created by the county council, because they are the ones who determine the pay that I get, actually, by state law. They do. They give the minimum, state does, and then the county council going above that. I'm at 60% at the minimum. So don't let all that smoke and mirrors and all that stuff affect the real cause of the problem we're trying to solve. Please, contact your county council member. This budget's not adopted yet. Tell them to contact me back and negotiate with me. Negotiate in good faith. Don't lead and insinuate that everything's going to be okay, and then at the last, drop the curtain and it's all over. Negotiate in good faith. Tell your councilman to do that. Tell your councilmen and council ladies to give me the opportunity to talk. When I go in front of the council, I'm very respectful to the point that I listen to them. I take in everything they have. And they continue to cut me off and do not allow me to tell the truth and finish what I'm trying to say because they know it's the truth. And in sometimes, I guess, in that case, the truth does hurt. Please contact me. Contact your council members. Again, thank you for the support. Thank you for everything. We've got to solve this problem, Scott County. This is not a sheriff's issue. This is not a county council issue. This is a Scott County issue that has to be solved by all of Scott County. I'm coming to you to help make that decision. Thank you.